Hi, happy Wednesday. Welcome to another WLG Group Coffee Chat. Another week. Seems like it's been a long week.
It does. It's not Friday yet.
So this week we are talking about estate planning for blended families, and I think there are a lot of different considerations and things that we talk through with blended families, not even on the estate planning side and then going forward. So Lindsay, first thing on blended families, what?
So I know when I usually talk about blended families, first of all, what's a blended family? A blended family is a second marriage or more with children from a prior relationship. So when I'm usually talking with people, I focus on making sure that the children from both relationships are not intentionally or accidentally disinherited upon the death of the first spouse, because that can happen sometimes. And sometimes everybody gets along. Sometimes the children from the previous marriage don't like their new step parents. They don't like their new step siblings. And there can just be really a lot of potential for conflict there. So that's one of the things that I generally focus on. But I think why we brought this up this week is Megan's gotten a couple calls recently this week, I think, and last week, where there's a different situation kind of going on that I think we need to talk about.
And talking and thinking through. And it's not so much the documents in, right? Everyone has, for the most part, valid healthcare powers of attorney, financial powers of attorney, estate plan documents. But it's thinking through, how does that work when you have adult siblings from different marriages who maybe didn't grow up together? Or maybe they did, and they've now kind of gone separate ways. And you have one parent who has appointed their children as backups, and the other parent who has appointed their children as backups. It's becoming more common of what do we do and how do we work together? And so I think this has a bigger conversation and things that we talk to clients about of, yeah, you have the documents in place, but having those conversations with your family, especially around incapacity planning, on how is this going to work on a real practical level, and making decisions and working together. And it doesn't necessarily need to be, we all sit down for a family meeting and go out to dinner and have that really awkward, maybe, or tense discussion on how does this work, or we really want you all to get together and work together. But saying, here's how this would work, right? If we needed to have one of you step in and you weren't interested in working with your step siblings, how does that work? So more of a discussion point and less of a documentation.
Yeah, I mean, the documents are certainly important. But one of the things we talk to all of our clients about is just having those conversations with the people that they've named, especially when it comes to healthcare decisions, assisted living. Do you want to go into assisted living? If so, what types of facilities? And then how does that fit into your budget? How does that fit into all of those types of things? Or the other side is staying at home and having care brought in. Who's in charge of that? How's that getting paid for? Those are the kinds of things that we want to talk about, as well as what happens when you die. So, who's in charge of the estate? Who gets what? We've protected assets in such and such a way. So there's a lot of different things that can be discussed, and the goal is to try to prevent as much conflict and animosity as possible, which isn't always easy, but
But I think you have those conversations now and express your wishes and be able to talk, right, and answer questions, that it reduces the chance of conflict later, reduces the chances of needing to get an attorney to help solve things or relationships, and that makes it easier. We hear most often from clients, I want to make things easy.
Yes, I think that's the number one goal.
And so part of it is having these conversations
Mhm.
and maybe hashing it out, or not even that, I guess, but being able to answer questions and express your wishes when there isn't a crisis
Mhm.
is the big piece.
Yeah. And, ask your estate planning attorney if they're willing to help facilitate these conversations, because, that's one of the things we offer as a family meeting, especially blended families where there are, teenage or young adult or adult children involved, just so everyone's on the same page. And again, so questions can be asked and answered, and everybody kind of knows where they fit in.
Yeah. So, all right. I think that's it for this week. That's a lot of topic.
Yes.
And what do we have coming up? We don't have anything coming up till March.
It's March on Friday. So I think we're doing 2 virtual events in March.
Yes.
We'll do our virtual estate planning 101 wine and wills, and then we're going to do a virtual lunch and learn for long-term care. We had a lot of requests for a virtual, so we're going to get those out to you guys
next couple weeks.
Soonish. Yep.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
all right, well, have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.